I'm Amanda Parker with Parker Heights Realty, bringing you this week's story behind the signs. As many of you know, if you're familiar within the real estate world, or maybe you're not, there's people who feel that they don't need representation from an agent. They feel that they can do it on their own, either whether that's buying or selling a home. And a few days ago, I found myself in a situation where a buyer wanted to purchase one of my listings. I showed them the home, and they wanted to write an offer, and something in my gut just told me that it just probably wasn't the right fit for us to work together. And but I was going to suck it up, be professional, and represent that buyer if that's what they wanted to do. They reached out to me and asked me to prepare an offer for them. In the same conversation, they also told me that they didn't need representation whatsoever. They did not want me to represent them. But yet on the flip side, they wanted me to write an offer for them. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I explained to them how that works. And so as we moved forward, I met him and the seller at the property and started to give him the paperwork, and decided that I was just going to represent my seller in this. I started out representing my seller, and that's where I'm going to end, because at the end of the day, I have their utmost interest at heart. So I decided to prepare an agreement to hold myself and my company harmless, and that buyer was 100% representing himself. I went through the different terms of the sales agreement just so that the buyer was aware. And towards the end, he looked at me and said, "I don't think I can purchase this home," after we discussed about inspection periods. And I said, "Okay, what's your hesitation?" He says, "I'm just not sure. I don't think that this is right." I said, "Okay, great. It looks like we're now finished here, and I needed to get to another appointment." And I started to leave, and that buyer looked at me after I had told him about our market and told him about the reasons that he probably should educate himself and make a more informed decision on representing himself, especially when you're buying a home in a seller's market. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, could you represent me and be my buyer's agent on another sale?" And a light bulb went off to me, and realized that at that point he saw value in me. He saw value that I had known the market, and he thanked me for being professional, thanked me for knowing the market, and for just handling the situation very fairly and professionally. So sometimes when you find yourself in a situation where you think you can handle it all, and there's a ton of legalities and risk, maybe double think and ask yourself, do I really need a representation, and who am I going to go to, and where am I going to find that professional to represent me?